First Things First is sponsored by Gillette, the best a man can get.
Oh, hey there. How you doing? I'm Jenna Wolf. That's the Hall of Famer Chris Carter. It's good to have you back.
Hey there. Hey, that's why I got all this makeup and everything.
We were all just hanging out for the last 8 hours, and then a camera popped up. It's great to have you back. We missed you yesterday. We always miss you when you're not here. Did you have some
good to see you, brother.
I had good family time in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Yes.
CC, sis, you will be glad to hear this. CC's family is family in Atlanta. Big Jenna Wolf fans.
Get out of here. Smart
really
family,
Absolutely.
CC.
Really are my sisters.
Good.
So it was nice. It was a good
Awesome.
trip. We missed
My
you.
mom.
Okay.
Thank you.
Other family
Also,
members?
they said,
Go ahead.
not to your delight, Nick. They said, Chris, we need you to sit down. I was like, okay, all right, no problem sitting down. No more spaceship stories.
Oh, no. Hey, listen, family Carter, lovely women of the Carter family. You're wrong. There'll be plenty of spaceship stories.
Sue.
And
she's like abort.
Sue?
She was texting abort.
The newest member of the Carter family, Sue. Guess what? More spaceship stories coming. If you're a new viewer to First Things First, that's just a long-term tease. Chris Carter has seen a spaceship, maybe been aboard a spaceship. More to come later.
I don't know.
But after I saw Black Panther, I kind of saw that, okay, that's what, maybe I was on
Exactly right. On your way to Wakanda. Damn straight. There you go, see?
Hey, if that's not a great way to start the show, can I borrow a pen?
No,
Thank you so much. Hey, there is a lot of chatter out there about Odell Beckham and his future with the New York Giants. Here's what we know. He's either staying, going, playing, or holding out. So, you're welcome for all that information. Yesterday, we told you that John Mara came out and said Odell wasn't untouchable. Now, today, Giants reportedly, quote, probably won't trade Odell Beckham Jr. Tomorrow, who knows? Giants owner Steve Tisch says there's no sense in rushing Odell's contract extension.
Odell's contract will be negotiated at the appropriate time. So to speculate on the what-ifs and the what would you do and the if this happens, what will happen, I can't do that. It's not realistic and it's not in anyone's best interest. I would like to have Odell on the Giants this coming season. He's a tremendous athlete. He's a great player. So I do hope that Odell is with the Giants for the 2018 season.
You could interpret that any way you'd like. That could be a ringing endorsement, or it could not be a ringing endorsement. CC, how do you think the Giants should handle the Odell Beckham Jr. situation?
I'd sign him to a contract extension. I'd offer him and his agent. I'd sit down with him. I know they're looking for major guarantees, so I'd probably give him about $50 million in guarantees. I'd offer him a 3-year deal. You give him $20 million each of those 3 years. I guarantee the first 2 years of it. I give him 20 and 20. I guarantee the first 2 years, so that's $40 million guaranteed. The third year, I'm going to pay him $20 million too, but half that's going to be guaranteed if he doesn't get in any trouble leading up to that. So I'm willing to give him at least $50 million guaranteed. Give him 20, 20 and 20, 60. Give him 50 of it guaranteed, plus the 8 he's got for this year. So I'd have him for a 4-year deal for $68 million. So Nick, you do the number.
You tack it on to the end. I want to make sure the audience knows.
You can't.
You're not ripping up the 5th year.
Who's getting their contract ripped up?
Okay, I just want to make sure the audience understood. So it's effectively a 4-year, $68 million.
Yeah, that's just the way the other deals are done.
Right, sure.
You know,
absolutely.
He's already signed a deal. He's in the last year of it. I'm going to make him live out that. He's getting paid $8 million. You know, it's the last year of his rookie contract. I'm willing to tack on 3 other years after that at $20 million a year.
Right, averages out to 17.
How's that different than what Odell wants?
That would make him the top paid receiver by a few million.
Right.
You know, it would get him the money he wants right now and it'd give him the guarantees. There's nothing. The only problem about the contract he might like is some of the fine print in there. You know, if you happen to get in trouble, if you happen to, I'd probably have like a point system. You know, if you happen to get suspended from the league, you miss some time, you know, because that's going to cost you some of your guarantees. And don't forget that $10 million I had you in the last year, that contract, that's going to be gone. So now you're down to $40 million guaranteed compared to 50. Now you could look at it and be like, I give him 58 guaranteed because once he signed the contract and he came to training camp this year, I guaranteed $8 million from this year too. So I guarantee him $58 million, but I'd have some small print, which we've seen other players do. I'd have some things in there as far as his conduct on and off the field, his off-season workouts. He would be attending all those, practicing with the New York Giants. He would be attending every training camp. That would be my proposition to him, and I'd make him the highest paid, and I'd give him $20 million a year.
All right, he would not be spending OTAs working out with Chris Carter. He would be spending OTAs working out with the New York Giants.
Absolutely.
He would not, because here's the thing, because you and I on this, and I didn't know what you were going to say, are on the same page. I think it is an untenable situation to say we're keeping Odell, we're not giving him a new deal. I don't think that is, first of all, I think despite the off-field antics,
well, they'd have to go backwards.
Correct. That's where I was leading up to. I think despite the off-the-field antics, the off-the-field antics do not include an arrest. They do not include a suspension. They do not include something to me so drastic to where you could credibly go backwards from what you had said, which is that we want to give you a new deal. I also think because of what's happened this offseason with that video, you have given yourself more leverage as far as being able to put in parameters that would void guarantees if Odell is not a good actor. I know Jenna was really put off by the end zone celebration. I don't really care about that. I don't really care about the passion and anger on the sidelines. I think that is par for the course for a lot of high-level
let's just put a little bookmark right there, though. But when the ownership talks to you and you start to get penalized, which hurts the team, all right? Now, in this era that we're in, they're allowing people to celebrate, but there's certain things you cannot do. So, like, why bring all that attention to yourself? To me, that's immature.
I agree it's immature, and I'm not defending it. What I was going to say was I don't really care about those things as far as would that change my commitment to the player. But I care enormously about what happened this offseason, because what matters to me is, can the player play 16 games for me? Can the player be on the field for me 16 games?
But he's not playing golf. He's not by himself. So you can't take all these other little things in a team sport that affect other people and say, I don't care about those things. You have to care about them because he's functioning within an organization that it affects other people in the organization.
Also, if you're the owner and last year you sat down and you brought him to your office and said, I don't like what you did in the end zone. I don't want that kind of behavior again. And then the video comes out. You're still saying, okay, fine.
No. And if he agreed to it.
Of course he said, I'm going to change. I understand what you're saying. We're on the same page. Let's move forward. You're still saying, it's okay. I spoke to you, but you didn't listen to me. This video came out. We'll move forward. I'll still give you your money.
What I'm trying to say, and I just try to hear me on this, is I am putting these things in separate buckets. I think this video is enormously more important and more potentially damaging than the kicking net, than the end zone, than any of that stuff.
The only thing is those things happened before.
Of course.
So they're all part of the story.
Of course.
You can't get to the end of the book, that being wherever he was in Paris, and say, I don't like this. It's all telling the whole story.
I agree with you. The point that I'm making is I think, very simple. The one thing to me that is an enormous red flag is what appears to me to be drugs in that video, and whether or not Odell could end up being taken off the field because of that. The other things we can, even if nobody likes them, I can maybe deal with them more. I'm less bothered by them, but we don't need to argue about that point. The point I'm making is a simple one. Because of that video, I would put very strict parameters into the contract CC is talking about, saying if you ever miss a game because of a drug suspension, your guarantees are voided. Your contract's not voided. We still have your rights, but your guarantees are voided. I think your point system is an interesting one. As far as if you get, call them misdemeanors. If you're getting excessive celebration flags, that's a point. If things that are within your control. I hadn't thought of that. I think that's really intriguing, because what I think has to happen for the Giants is they have to find a way to sign him to a contract extension, or trading him might be the best option. And trading your best player is so rarely the right thing to do for your franchise when he's 25 years old.
Playing devil's advocate just for a second, a lot of people would say you would offer him a contract before you see how he responds and he rebounds from the sprained ankle before he steps foot on the field. I mean, a lot of people would love to see him play out a little bit or play the year out before they offered him a max deal like that.
Well, he has a type of injury that 99.9% of professional athletes are going to recover from. So, no, he's proven enough in his 3 years as an athlete that we know what he can do. He's already proven that he needs a new contract.
And to CeCe's point earlier, John Mara said he was getting a new contract post ankle break. Like, it's not like they said, we're going to give Odell a new contract in 2018, and then he broke his leg.
Sure.
He knew that this had happened. He knew he had suffered the injury.
It was post-ankle break, but it was obviously before the video, which is why this is all now coming
Absolutely. But as far as concern about his health, I don't think that's on the list right now.
Got it. Okay, let's take a break. We'll talk more about this. Chris Caney is going to join the show. We'll deal with it with him. But first, a former San Antonio Spur has some really harsh words for Pop and the organization.